Welcome to Meet My Friends with Daddy Porter, and we are live. Hi, Doug.
Hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're just gonna jump in. I like our new background. It puts us in a cellaring type mode. I know you like cellaring beers.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
sir.
and so do so do my friends. So do our friends. Jeff and Chris from Bottle Makes Three. You can see their website down there. We're gonna show it a little bit. They're Colorado based, so I don't know if you know the day that we're live here. Colorado literally changed their rules. It was hours ago on what's going on with the bars and restaurants, and it's I love to say a goddamn mess. So we're gonna bring them on, and they're gonna hash all this out at some point for us.
Hey,
That's asking a lot.
Everything's so fluid that this is just going to be fun to do it on the fly, man. This is part of the reason why we do it live.
Right. And no, they don't have all the answers. Nobody does. But I put all this pressure on them.
I was led to believe they would have all the answers.
Right. Oh, Doug, I don't know what we're going to do. What we are going to do is bring Jeff and Chris on right now.
Let's do it.
What's
hey,
up,
Greg.
Jeff and Chris?
Hi,
Hey,
how you
Greg. How you
doing?
doing?
How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good. How about you guys?
Drinking, obviously, is still pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here.
Cheers.
Curbside beer. Cheers.
Nice.
Curbside beer.
Aren't they all nowadays?
Mhm.
So before we even get to all that, I want you guys to explain to everybody who you are.
Sure.
How did you guys get into craft beer? How did you meet each other? Because obviously you're a duo, dynamic duo. You read your website. You guys are on it. It's Bottle Makes Three, bottom there. So how did you guys get into craft beer, and where did you meet and all that?
We actually met at work, if you can believe that or not,
Yeah.
many years ago.
Almost 20 years ago.
We started working together and just slowly led into us going out one night just for drinks and to hanging out, which turned into us going to, back at that time, not craft beer was coming around, but it wasn't out like fully yet.
Mhm.
And we went to this craft bar. I think it was called Rack House at the time.
It was called Heavenly Days.
Heavenly Days.
Heavenly
Sorry.
Days. We only had brew pubs at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll correct him. It's okay.
Yeah. It was Rack House at one point, which is not whiskey. But anyways, yeah. And I remember the beers there, first time I was there, weren't my favorite. They had a lot of big, heavy beers, strong beers, barrel-aged stuff. And at the time, we muddled through. But over time, it became one of our favorite places. And from there, the rest is history. We started dating after that, and she can get a little more into the blog side of the house.
Yeah, we started dating. Jeff took me to 3 beer brewery pubs. That's all we had at the time was brew pubs on our first kind of hangout.
Yeah.
And then many years later, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what city is this in?
It's in Denver. Yeah, we met in Denver.
It was Denver. Yeah, all of it was Denver.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the bars is still open, Pints Pub. So if you like a good English cask ale or whiskey, they're still around. But that was our only first date place that's left.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we got together. We got married. We really liked beer. And after a while, as the scene sort of exploded here, we were posting on Facebook and sharing stuff with our friends all the time. And a lot of them were like, whoa, you guys okay?
Drinking problem.
You guys are posting a lot about beer. So we decided it would be better to have a separate platform. And that's when we started Bottle Makes Three. So that was in March of 2012. At the time, we said, let's get every brewery in Colorado and write about it. But around that same time, things just exploded. And there was no way we could do that. So that focus quickly shifted to just let's go places and
have some fun.
Yeah, and have fun. And share those stories.
We've been to quite a few, but there's no way we've been to all. I mean, it's
maybe half, maybe more than half.
You can't keep up. It's tough. I mean, at the time, there were breweries opening every other day. It was rough to.
Oh yeah, that's so bad.
Yeah, they hit them all.
Right. So I don't know, Doug. Doug, we'll get to you. You'll get the follow up to this, but real quick, jumping into Colorado beer. One of my favorite times there was when I came out to visit for the GABF, and I just love what is it called, the North District in Colorado there, with Crooked Stave, Great Divide,
River North.
Excuse me.
River North.
Oh, I love it up there. I love it. They had all these different breweries in like one little area. I can't remember half of them. I know Great Divide's there. I know Crooked Stave's there.
Yeah.
And there were just so many. It was just a really nice walk. People were fun. It was a nice day. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that area, but I can't say enough about that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that area. They put the Crooked Stave was in what's called the Source, which is one of those markets where they had like an actual butcher inside, several restaurants, flower shop, one of those just really cool hangout places with a bar in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I have some bad news for you. Crooked Stave is no longer in there. They went back to their original.
They're back. They're at
where
their
they
main
brew,
brewery,
where they mainly brew, which is only a couple miles away from there.
Okay.
But a few restaurants in there had some issues because they decided to redo the road to make it wider with sidewalks for all the walking you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And something went sideways, and it took about 5 years long.
I don't know. It took a
Way
long time.
over. And restaurants started slowly. They couldn't take any more loans out. And I don't know if that was Stave's issue, but some went down. But the Source is back in there. New Belgium actually just built a hotel right next to the Source.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Source. They have food on one level. All the rooms, we stayed there for a Great Divide event, and they're all industrial cement
really
block
cool place.
rooms.
They give you a beer at check-in.
There's
It's
taps
really
behind check-in. It's really industrial. It's pretty nice though. It's a cool place, and then like I said, they have a whole food level, and they have I don't know what it's called. There's a brewery in it, but it's only just like in-house type stuff, and they have
like their test brewery.
Gorgeous rooftop bar. So when you're out here, you definitely have to hit that because the view is phenomenal. You get up there and you can see all of Denver in the Front Range.
Yeah, and there's still tons of breweries down in that River North area.
Yeah,
there's more opening all the time.
Yeah, Mockery's down there, Great Divide, like you said.
Odell put a
tap room in there. So.
Man, there's so many. Is Epic?
I can't even remember them all.
Yeah, I can't tell you all of them. There's so many.
Right. Doug, you got a good spot in Colorado you'd like to talk about?
Well, the thing was, when I went to Colorado, I didn't really get to go out and explore too much of the beer scene. So, that was what? Oh my goodness, that was 9 years ago I was there because we went for my brother-in-law's wedding. And it was, you're with your family. You're not really going out, hey, let's go hit up the brewery. So, yeah, both my brothers-in-law keep hounding me to go out to GABF, and I keep saying I don't have the money. So maybe at some point it's just got to be not about the money, I guess.
It is, at least once it's worth it. It's a good time. We're privileged enough to live here, and like you said, we can save a little bit on cost for staying, but we usually still stay downtown because we enjoy a lot of the pre and post.
Yeah, there's just so much
excursions
happening.
And things they do with JBF.
There's so much going on downtown that whole week. So you could spend the whole week exploring and doing all kinds of fun beer things and not step foot in the festival if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
There's just so much happening.
Yeah, we've actually scaled it back. Last time we only went to, I think, like 2 sessions. We went to the food pairing, which was great because all these restaurants and food pairing. Scaled it back. Well, we used to go every night, and it would be dragging by Saturday night. So
you're talking about Paired, right?
Yes. Paired. Paired is. Have you gone? Is that the shaking that you want to go?
Paired is language alert. Paired is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it for me. It is absolutely fucking fantastic, and you should spend the money and just go in there and eat. And if you don't believe in food pairing after you go there, then you'll never believe it, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they get like something like, I want to say 24, 25 great chefs from around the country.
Yes.
And then they pair them all with different breweries, and they have beer pairings, and then they have food that they've used with the beer. It's just all amazing.
It is. You're right.
And it's just not, the best thing about it is it's just not what we're used to getting at bars, like, which is fried food, which is the same stuff all the time. And we love it. We all love it. But sometimes, right, because we're the first ones to buy it. But sometimes it's good to have a different, they had oysters. They had all these different, like, high-end foods. In fact, I don't even remember that much fried food there. It was just so, I can't say enough about it, man. I really can't. People are like, it's $80. I don't care what it is. I really don't. Like,
you get a ticket in, don't worry about it.
Take my money, and you're not going to be full either. Like, I walked out of there like, I can't even fit any more beer, and there was 2 hours left in the festival. So you get full, you get a really good experience. It's less busy too because people.
sure.
I don't know how much they sell tickets, but it didn't seem like it was as busy as the regular festival.
Yeah.
I could talk an hour about Paired. I love it.
We could too.
And the beers that they're pouring inside there are not ones you're going to find anywhere else in the festival. So they're only available there. So if you want your
Anything rare or
your Allagashes for us in Colorado that can't buy that and stuff like that, you have to go to Paired. You got to go and get the high end food and the fancy beers. And
like I said, in the cost of ticket, you get to go into the festival too, so you can wander in and out. So you can go get some food, go take a walk, wander back in, go take a walk.
And you get your own entrance, so you don't have to do the regular entrance, which is kind of crazy. You got to walk around like 6 times.
You just stand out waiting.
Then you get into this big place, and it's all you guys, and then they're playing bagpipes. It's
a sensory overload.
Yeah, we have volunteered for GABF for
even before we started, or when we first started the
blog. With the blog.
We volunteered for several years as pourers for GABF.
We had one crew we were on the whole time, and we got to know everyone. So we got in early. You got pretty much all the beer you wanted. And,
you can drink as volunteers, which was a big plus. And you get to, we got to meet some really great breweries and represent their beers and learn all about it. That's really probably how we first started really learning about craft beer, was from the brewers that we poured for at GABF. So
and then we got lucky because we started doing the blog, and we've gotten media a few times. So we're blessed to have it. We really appreciate it because there's something to be said of, one, not having to wait in line, and two, you just it's just nice to get in and
Doug?
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is with GABF. Sorry, I'm popping open a beer. My brothers-in-law were telling me that there's like if you want to go certain things, let's say you're a fan of IPAs or you're a fan of barrel age or you're a fan of cask ales or whatever, that you can go on their app and pick out your route. And I find that super fascinating because that shows you just kind of how big that is.
Yeah, they actually 2 years ago.
It's been a few years. They've updated the app.
They keep making it better, and you almost have to have it if you're looking for something specific, because the bottom line is, I think last year they opened up, it's on our convention center, so they opened up the last little section that's usually closed off, just because they don't use it. And now we have the entire floor. Now, mind you, portion of that, they changed that big line going around outside. What they do now is they check IDs and they put you in this huge cattle herd inside. And then it's almost like a start the race, pistol goes off, and they raise the rope and off you go. So they have fixed a lot of that outside stuff. But
the app itself, the app, if you can use it to find specific beers, specific breweries, you can, it definitely has those kind of maps to tell you if you're like into sours or into hoppy beers or IPAs. It'll tell you, it'll kind of curate for you what ones you want to hit.
Yeah. So. You can also pick your favorites so you don't miss them.
Yeah.
And
as a volunteer, I know we would be pouring for someone and everyone would come up and say, "Where's the sours?" And I don't know.
And I do believe
so this is really helpful that they have this now.
And I do believe when they announce the winners.
That's on the app.
That goes on the app too. So
you can just drink.
You can just sit there and go find all the award winners as well. So that was another great thing they did, and they just keep making the app better. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sad to be doing it
this year. Virtual, I guess.
I'm sold.
Two other things about the GABF that jumped off at me. I mean, there's many things, but one of them is spilling out at the end and trying to get on a tram or a train during that time. It is just hilarious. Yeah. And I don't know, it's one of those times where you're like, and you think about that now during COVID, and you're just like,
that's not acceptable.
We kind of figured really early on that there's absolutely no way to do GABF with the situation going on. There's no such thing as social distancing and No.
So another one of my favorite things, actually, again, I stayed in I forget where I stayed, but I stayed in Airbnb. Kind of like, I think it was, let's see the map, southwest of where everything is going. A little up and coming neighborhood. I forget where it was. I don't even want to say a neighborhood because it's probably wrong. But I had a really good time. But just squeezing in there and getting out of there was just an event in itself.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things that I really, really like there is the winners I don't know if you guys know what it's called, but it's called the winners table, where all they have is just winners.
Oh yeah, the metal. It's like
Heavy
the
metal.
heavy metal table.
Is that what it's called?
All the
It's-
previous year's winners and everything.
Metal, not
Yeah,
metal.
because sometimes at these beer festivals, and everybody who has been to a beer festival can know, and GABF is the biggest one. Sometimes you're like, I just want a good beer. Like, I've been trying a whole lot. You know what I mean? You're trying a whole bunch of different things. Sometimes you're just like, this is great. So when you go over to that table, that's all the winners. So
Oh yeah.
I just
Yeah.
You can just go down the line.
And depending on the year, when it's a World Beer Cup year, they'll have the World Beer Cup winners there too. So they'll have previous GABF year winners and the World Beer Cup winners, and it's just awesome. Yeah.
and
So you can hang out at the table.
And that's what I learned whenever that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But that's when I learned that craft brewers do, believe it or not, it was only 2 or 3 years ago. Craft brewers do fantastic lagers. Because I was at the light lager thing and I was like, oh, this is really good. And I saw it was light lager and it wasn't, I think maybe that was the year that they eliminated the big beer. Big beer couldn't be, a winner. So then it started to, they started to show like the little guys doing it. And I was like, man, we're making some good lagers. And I think the times have come around because I don't know about you guys, but I see a lot of lagers here.
Oh yeah.
Traveling a lot more than we used to see like 3 months ago. So
yeah, I like that.
I think it's the perfect beer for this time too, when they've got a lot more time than they maybe have people in the tap room. So you can take the time to lager condition those beers, and I think we'll see some good lagers coming out of this.
Yes, Chris, that's a great idea.
You can see who the brains of this is. I'm just the talker.
Yeah.
And the drinker.
No.
So
although you are the talker.
But I am the talker. But no, it's a partnership. Yeah.
Chris can talk too, though. Come on now.
Oh no, she can talk.
I can talk.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I get a word in.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chris and I had a couple conversations in Montana, and we were just like blah 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 blah. So like,
Wow.
Montana. Remember the fun days? Remember the good old days?
Remember now?
Yeah. We used to get together. So, Doug, what do you got, buddy?
So, when you were in Montana, did you guys discuss like, man, it's really pretty here, and there's not a lot of people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
is
Because
there anyone living in this town?
Yeah, so like Greg and I have a friend, Jesse, who lives in Bozeman.
Oh, nice.
And she posts pictures and it just is like, my word, that looks gorgeous. So
beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful places we've been on some of these trips.
Was that your first time there?
Oh no. Oh, to Montana?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And you guys are fairly close, so you have less of an excuse than me.
I know.
But, but I bet you that won't be the last time you're there now.
Oh no. And we didn't get to do we didn't get to do the pre or post excursion, so we didn't get to go to the
park.
The glacier.
Glacier National.
Yeah, that's really high on my bucket list now since we didn't get to do it. I heard how amazing it was.
We have some friends that live, is it Bozeman? George?
I don't know.
Anyways, his wife and him both are from there, but the towns they were in, same thing. We told them we are going out there. They were just like, good luck coming back, because you're going to get there and be like, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah,
but they said, go in the winter. It might change your mind a little bit. They said, you get no trees and that wind blowing sideways. It's a little bit cooler than what even we're expected here.
Yeah, I stayed in Bozeman for 2 days and I didn't want to leave. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just beautiful. And we had such a really good time up there. I went to the pre-excursion, not the after, but yeah, just Montana. But a little thing from today that speaks to Doug's comment about nobody being there. I think they had their record amount of new cases today, which was 49. So like, you know what I mean? Like California has like 2,000 and Montana has 49, and it just shows you the scope of like. You know what I mean? How there aren't really many people there.
And they do social distancing without being told to.
Yeah,
because they don't have a choice.
It's just built into
the landscape. It's what are you gonna do? Your neighbors.
I remember laughing driving through during rush hour. I was like, this is really a joke, actually. Like, I don't even want to hear it from any Montanans about traffic ever.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
That's right.
Hey, our friend Mike Collins says,
traffic there is probably more like, holy crap, there's a like a stagecoach in front of me.
Yeah.
A horse jackknifed on the
There's
road.
a moose.
There's a moose.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. No, yeah, Montana, that was beautiful though. It was
a fun trip.
That was a fun trip too.
And we were really looking forward to Austin too, so we're kind of bummed out. Austin's been a town we've been wanting to go and explore the beer scene for a long time.
Yeah.
So
again, I've been there a few times for work, but it's like you said, when you travel even with family, people don't get when you're there for work. I'm not on vacation. I get done at 8 o'clock at night, and the last thing I want to do is go wander around. Well, that's not true. I do like to wander around and go to breweries, but I don't.
Right.
It's not the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got something?
No, I was clearing my throat. Sorry.
No worries. So I absolutely want to talk about when we have guests, we do our research when we're doing good. And part of my research, I've already been to your site a couple of times, but I wanted to see what you guys were up to recently, because I don't know how anybody's up to anything recently. So
yeah.
I ended up reading this piece here, Keeping Calm and Carrying Out, which is now 3 months old, and it felt like I was reading it that you wrote it today, Chris.
I know. Yeah, we sort of didn't plan on taking a break, but the thing is, stuff is changing so fast that we just haven't been able to keep up with any kind of long format posting. So we're hoping to get back to that. But yeah, it really is relevant right now because just today, as you said, they closed our bars again in Colorado. So we're 2 steps forward, 3 steps back or something like that.
Yeah, I like the way they phrased it, all bars and nightclubs. Which is funny because I don't think nightclubs had opened yet. But
they had, so they just opened they've only been open a couple weeks. So here they only open them around the 15th.
By the time we're done with this call, there'll be a new order out and everything will be open. So
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they said nightclubs so that you weren't able to skirt around and say, well, we're not a bar, we're a nightclub.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They are very vague in their wording, and none of the rules they put out really often address breweries in particular. So kind of what's happened in Colorado is when they first shut everything down, breweries were able to do to-go, they're able to do delivery. And then when they reopened restaurants, breweries reopened as well. And they, I think the Brewers Guild here had a lot to do with that, but they kind of explained that breweries are much like restaurants in Colorado. Most of them have food trucks or they have neighboring restaurants that depend on them. So they sort of opened along with the restaurants. So our hope is that they'll continue to be open along with the restaurants.
We'll see.
It just happened today, so we'll find out if that's the case. But that's what the hope is.
And we're lucky here we're not in a little town. I always say little. We're compared to Denver, we're little. We're a little south in Castle Rock. But the breweries out here pretty religiously have a food truck every day of the week. And you'll see even on Facebook, someone had to cancel the food truck, and they're asking anyone to show because they really they're promoting that as well. Yeah, that's the way they kind of get around this whole. Not get around, but as long as they're serving food, the breweries will stay open. Yeah,
that was the stipulation: is you have to serve food. So you either have to partner with a retail restaurant, or you have to partner with a food truck. It has to be food on site. Can't be snacks. Can't be people bringing in sandwiches. So that's sort of how they were able to stay open before. Now, that being said, a lot of our breweries never fully reopen their inside. Just
I was gonna say,
they're still just doing to go and take out because you've been in a lot of breweries that are so small and narrow, and there's just you can't social distance in there. And
it's not you can't pay staff.
Yeah.
No, that's not the point of it though. Like the point of bars and breweries is to bring people together. Together. I sit next to you. I meet you. We share food, maybe. I don't even know how it's going to work in the future.
Yeah, no, I hear you. We share food and beer, so it's the same thing.
So
hey, Jeff, try this beer I just had.
Exactly. What do I do? Sure.
Right. That's me.
And then he says, "Hey,
that would have been me too." Yeah,
that's me too. So you know how I get around like social distancing out? I don't go. I just don't. I can't. Like if you guys can go, that's great. For people who feel safe enough to go. Fantastic. Sure. I am not judging anybody.
We're on that fence, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeff, if I see you, I'm going to want to hug you. Chris, if I see you, I'm going to want to hug you.
Sure.
Doug, if I see you, I'm going to want to hug you. If I'm going to want to touch you when I talk. I'm going to want to be next. It's just not going to work. So
we've we've been out to a few breweries. We're very selective where we go, and we've not met any friends there for the same exact reason.
Because of that.
So when we've gone out, it's just been us. So it's not been the most fun that we've ever had. I mean, not that we don't have fun, but
it's not the same environment you're used to.
We can't, if we go to places where we know everybody and we go to places where our friends hang out, then it's much harder. So we've purposely only gone out a little bit, and we've gone to places where that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And the places we have gone, we've vetted out, and we've seen how they're doing their cleaning and the way they're doing the distancing and the tables.
Everyone has their own comfort level. Ours is we're comfortable enough to risk it a little bit, but not a lot.
All this is personal choice. All this is you decide. Again, I don't know where you guys are on the risk factor scale. I mean, there's so many things that are just. Or do you have anybody close to you or somebody that you see? I mean, there's just so many different variables and factors and reasons for. So this is why, like, people have to get out of the whole judging and what are they doing out and all that. Because that's almost your first instinct is we see somebody. What are they? That's not for you. That's for them.
Exactly.
You control yourself. I can't say it enough. But this is tough, man. That's why that's why I love talking to you guys, because you guys can relate. You're travelers, you're beer travelers. Yeah. You want to go to all the different breweries and drink all the different beers. You're so like me.
Well, it's funny. This was going to be the year we were going to kind of really expand on the traveling and go to the far off cities and the places we haven't been to in Colorado and do all this stuff. And then everything happened. And so we haven't gotten to do any of that yet, But this might be the year to really explore our own backyard and stay local and as much as we can. And that's why I wanted to highlight this piece specifically. So what are you guys doing? And then Doug, you absolutely get the follow up. What are you guys doing as far as how are you coping? Are you getting takeout? Are you doing the curbside? I heard Chris just said you guys have been out a few times, but that ain't enough to like wet that palate.
No, not even close. We are doing a lot of pickup, like the breweries around.
Yeah, we're kind of a little farther out. None of our breweries really deliver where we're at, but so like we took a pilgrimage a week or last weekend to Greeley and went to Weldworks and picked up some beer and things like that. So we'll go and do pickups like that.
We don't mind driving. So just to get out of the house, we don't go and
it was a nice 2-hour drive just to pick up some beer and turn around and come home. But it got us out of the house.
So we're doing a lot of that. You were on one of them. We do the Beer Now conference.
We do a couple virtual
conferences. We've done that every week. We have one we do ourselves with friends and family. Yeah. So we're doing that, but no, you're right. It's still not enough to wet the whistle. And I'm such an advocate to get things open, but I want it done right. And if wearing a mask is it, wear a mask. Let's just get it done, because exactly what happened today. You give a little bit of leeway, and next thing you know, we're back in the boat where things are closing again. Yeah. And it gets ugly. So
nobody wants to see closings. Nobody. I don't know anybody who's like, let's close everything down. The only reason you say that is because people are getting sick and they can't operate anyway. We had 2 breweries today come out and say we're done with our restaurant. Like, no one told them to, but somebody, like 2 people tested positive, and they're like, we're done. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys when we see you, is what they say.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's important, though, too, is that the breweries put their staff there first, too. That's a real important thing. They have to think about their staff. They have to think about the customers coming in. And it's not the popular opinion out here in some of the breweries, but
even with the to-go. Yeah. They're dealing with every single person coming up buying beer. So they're at risk as well. But it's a tough one.
Yeah. But we've talked to many, and I don't know how it is there, but we've talked to a few out here. I can't say everyone's doing okay. We've had a couple that closed. They were probably going that route anyhow, and this maybe just didn't make it any easier for them to rebound, obviously. But we've talked to some that said they're doing great. They're still doing good, even with just the carryout. They're at least maintaining status quo. So that's positive. So we just always encourage people to go out and buy those craft beers and visit their local brewery. If you like it, go there and get takeout or pick up curbside, so that they can still be there when this all goes back to normal.
Doug?
So in that article you showed, Greg, please put that up again and show the mug that's farther down in that, because I want that coffee.
Which one?
I know which one.
Oh,
That one.
That mug is awesome.
That pretty much sums it up, right?
that sums everything up.
Yeah. And actually,
Everything's
the
fine.
brewery,
Then everything's fucked.
the brewery at the top of that, the brewery that has the beer stand, the kind of lemonade stand.
Yeah.
When we decided, okay, things have been open like a week or so, we were finally ready to go out. Joyride Brewery is where we went because they kind of did things probably way more conservative than you certainly need to when you open. They were doing reservations only. They were fully closing and cleaning every
They had
2
seatings.
hours. So
you had an hour and 45 minutes you could go drink.
Yeah.
And
So
then they closed.
So we were very leery about going out, but the way they had it laid out, and it made us feel welcome and comfortable. And that's really what it's all about. You got to do what's welcoming, comfortable to you, and not anything outside that comfort zone.
Yeah. Those guys did it well. Joyride was really, that was our first too. So they were.
And the lemonade stand look you have to give them a little credit for being creative on that one.
That's typically their roll door, and that's the bar you sit at, facing out of their brewery. So they just turned it into the lemonade stand for their pickup orders during the whole closure time. So
made all the news. Every news channel's had that.
Yeah.
Wow. Question for you guys, real quick, and then back to Doug.
Sure. We're in Castle Rock, Colorado. So we're about 45 minutes south of Denver and about 45 minutes north of Colorado Springs.
So right in the middle.
Colorado, yeah. So it's a pretty good central location.
Right on the range or in the mountains?
Nope, on the range.
On the right, yeah.
It's right up I-25.
Yeah.
So would you say you're home on the range?
Yeah, pretty much.
We're home on the range more than we care to be sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Recently.
Sorry, that's my bad joke thing I have to get in. So can I ask a question where you came up with the name Bottle Makes Three?
Yeah. Well, it's from a song. You and Me and the Bottle Makes Three is a song from the 90s, like back when the swing stuff was all in. And
okay, yeah.
And we don't have kids. It's just us, me and Jeff. So we figure me and you and the bottle. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go see Big Bad Voodoo Daddy a lot in Vegas and play at some really cool venues. And that's one of their songs. And that wasn't why we picked it, but
it was just a fun name.
It was just a fun name. And like she said, we don't have kids. And we're like, well.
Many years after having the blog, we went to a concert and they had a little meet and greet after. And we asked them, hey, is it totally okay that we use your name? Are you going to sue us? And they said it was cool. So we're going to.
It's not this one.
We signed a little set list saying, I like your blog. So we're going to take that to court if they ever try to sue us.
If they try to sue us, we're take it. So we're okay.
Man, it's 2020. Don't put anything past it.
Yeah, no kidding.
You never know.
They can be hurt for money because they can't do shows.
Right. Don't jinx it.
Oh, no, not 2020.
Beer Day says he drove to Mount Evans a few years ago. Great scenery.
Very cool. I like that area.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chris, did I hear you say that Denver breweries were delivering or are delivering?
Yeah, they deliver. They can deliver during the pandemic. I think it's something they passed. They kind of let them do the tacos and the delivery. They've always done carry out, but the delivery for a lot of them is pretty new. They can't ship like some states can ship. As far as I know, you can't get beer shipped to you from the breweries here, but they can. If you're within a certain range, we're just outside of the range for most of the Denver breweries.
So we do our road trips to get our beer.
Yeah.
It's the same laws like they started allowing you to get alcohol in restaurants.
Yeah, we can have to-go cocktails. You can buy a bottle of tequila from your local restaurants. Yeah. There's no rules anymore.
Yeah. It's a wild west out here.
It really is.
Literally.
Do whatever you want.
And you guys also mentioned road trips. In a beautiful state like Colorado, I assume that is necessary during a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We like to do it a couple times a year anyways, but I think that'll be all we get to do.
That's all we're doing this year. We have a couple we've done a few times and we love it. There's just beautiful, especially if you go down south towards Durango. We do Ska Brewing's anniversary party every year, which probably won't happen.
Yeah.
But you can do a loop pretty much all the way down there and then come up on the western slope by Grand Junction and back. And it's called the $1 Million Freeway or Highway. Yeah. And it's just some of the most breathtaking views and scenery you would ever seen. And you're just like, it's crazy. And obviously we do that and there's breweries all along the way. We've taken a few side trips to some really strange ones.
Yeah, we've taken. We've hit a lot, but this might be the year we hit those. There's like only, I think there's one or maybe two on the east side of the state. We might have to finally venture out that way.
Yeah. But you're right. We will be doing. I mean, we do a lot of road trips, short ones, but we might add a little bit longer in just to try and pick up a little bit within the state, maybe just overnighters or something.
Doug?
A beer and a hike.
Yeah.
So you said you've seen some strange ones. We need more detail than just weird.
Well, there's one. I'll tell them about it.
Well, first, I'll stay the road. It's off of the Superstitious Highway.
It's like the
alien. Oh man, I knew I'd forget.
I don't know, but there's one. It's in Crestone, Colorado. Crestone, Colorado is a very small town, kind of south central of the state, in the in one of the mountain ranges.
St. Louis, I think.
But they are known for having more spiritual centers than any other city in Colorado. I think there's 20. There's monasteries, and there's all different types of
energy portals.
Yes, and just outside of the town is the place where you can camp, and allegedly that's where you're most likely to see a UFO in Colorado. So that's
$5 a carload. You can go
$5 you can go, and we've never made it in time to go to their little.
If you look up on the webpage, it says beer is encouraged.
Yeah, but Crestone in the middle of nowhere.
Crestone.
I think that there's maybe just a couple of restaurants plus this brewery that is also a brew pub, and no chain anything. And what I love the most about it is they could totally phone it in. They have a captive audience. You know, they don't have to try very hard, and their beers are great.
Really good.
Their beers are excellent. Their food is excellent.
They have a chef. I think the guy originally studied to be a chef, so the food is incredible.
Everything's locally sourced. Everything is fantastic.
But it is full.
We like to go out of our way there just to go to Crested Brewery.
Put it this way: when you pull into town, there's this huge tent, and it's basically just full of clothes and shoes, and
it's a swap.
It's a swap. Yeah. You can just go pick something up and leave something to move on your way. It's a real
hippie town.
It is a hippie, But everyone is the most friendly, and it's just but it's tiny. I don't know what the population is, but it is very really small.
Mm-hmm.
And it's off an beaten path. You go through like cornfields to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Treadstone, Colorado?
Crestone.
Crestone, okay.
Crestone,
but that makes me want to go and experience that. So
yes, I mean it is not on the way to anywhere. You have to want to go there.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
it's a destination.
Really hiking. I've heard there's really good hiking, and you can hit at least. I think there's at least 114er. You can if you want to hike up a mountain out there. So
I'm sorry, Doug. Got a comment here, quick, for Chris.
Oh, nice. Hi. I know that name. I wish you were too.
Yep. Doug, you got something?
No, I was just that particular place, Crestone. I really am now I'm thinking I want to go to Colorado just for that.
If you zoom out a little bit, you'll see the freeway I'm talking about, and you'll see this little trailer. Mm-hmm. I forget exactly. Alien Watchtower. I believe is what it's called.
It is the Alien Watchtower.
And the
freeway camp there.
And the freeway is called something alien or UFO Highway, and
like the super freeway.
It's insane. You'll find it if you see Crestone, you're near it.
Maybe the Cosmic Freeway. Something along those.
But anyways, it's a whole nother trip for us to do. The downfall to camping there isn't a tree within miles.
Yeah.
It is just rock, and
that's why you can see the aliens.
It has nothing to do with the alcohol they encourage you to bring and drink.
Beer Days asks, isn't the Shiny Hotel in Colorado?
Yes, in Estes Park. No relation. Colorado. They are that's the hotel that was featured in the Shining. It's called the Stanley, and I've heard it's haunted. We've had a lot of friends stay there and say it's totally haunted.
No, I want nothing to do with that place.
Oh, Greg. So now we have a destination to do.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can get all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Drinking beer.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Georgetown's another one of the haunted ones here. Mm-hmm. And there's a brewery there as well. So
Beer Days asks, you ever get to Fallen Rock Tap House?
For sure.
Can I answer that when I've been there? Fun place.
Yeah, it's fun. During GABF especially, they go wild with all kinds of guest beers, and just they're changing their taps constantly. But Yeah, we could get there for sure.
Yeah, he usually gets a pretty good beer selection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got like 100 taps or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, and then right next door, I don't know if is One Up still there.
Yeah, One Up.
Oh yeah.
They actually opened a new location a little closer to us, just down south here. It's a 2 Up.
2 Up, okay.
Yeah, One Up is right next door underground.
Yep.
Yeah, and then what's the other bar I love downtown? Is it Fresh Craft? Is that
Fresh
it?
Craft, yep. Fresh Craft is another great beer bar.
Okay, yeah,
Great food.
And great food too.
Yes.
Fresh Craft.
Yeah.
They're brew pubs though.
What's that?
They're not breweries, but they're brew
they're
pubs.
just no, they don't brew on
Those are
site.
brew pubs or tap rooms, yeah, more than anything.
That's my dad.
I love when he said dad at the end.
Way to give me that hint, Dad. Way to guilt trip.
Hey, they're closing Florida down too, just like here.
Yeah,
So.
they've closed. Actually, yeah, they've been closing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the summer to stay close to home.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah.
So when do you guys have? Is there an event that you guys have marked down that you're like, I'm going to that? So I don't know when it is. Is there one that is on the, or how about this? If they're gonna have it, I'm going.
Yeah.
No matter what. So I have one. Mine is our friend Owen Ogletree's April one in January. What is it? The Atlanta Cascale Fest, I believe it is. If we're able to go, I'm going.
Yeah, we've always wanted to do
January.
The big beers and barley wines they do up in the mountains in January too. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I just want to go to them all. Is that an answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to go. We want to do. Yeah, there's a few, but I definitely want to do that someday up in Breckenridge.
Yeah, Breckenridge has a big beers, and there's one we used in Salida, Colorado, which is another beautiful part of the state, on the river, and we've gone there a couple of years, and it's probably
it's the Brewers Rendezvous they call it, and it's put on by our Colorado Brewers Guild, and so it's all the breweries that are part of the guild go down there, and it's a tiny town.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They do it right along the running river. It's great.
Camp for free on BLM land, and there's a river right there.
But those have been ones we've been to. I can't think of. There's not a lot we haven't been to that I really am itching to go to.
Yeah, but the one in the mountains, you're right. The big beer.
Savor, I'd like to go to.
Well, yeah, love to do Savor.
I want to go on one of Owen's trips. Overseas.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to Owen a couple. Now it actually feels like a couple months ago, and I'm pretty crushed for the guy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know we're all going through shit, but like, what was it yesterday? Europe's like, oh no Americans. We're not having.
Yeah.
And I just immediately thought of Owen. I immediately thought of like, he's like the guy that wants like. I don't think anybody else wants to get on the plane and go. Owen does though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's his thing, and it's just like.
And every time we talk to him, he makes us want to go. And one of these days, we're going to do it.
He offers all the time. He's like, "Look me up. We'll set up a trip."
Yeah.
Right.
That's our answer.
Right. We all got to do that together. So
that's great.
Let's all do
it.
And he'd be a great person to go with because you want to talk about knowing about beer.
Yeah.
That guy.
And knowing where to go, who to talk to.
Yep.
Yeah, when we had him on the show, and Greg's like, "Here's his list of all the places he's gone." I was like, "Jesus,
I know
that guy's been everywhere." Like, my goodness,
everywhere twice.
Yeah, he's been to a lot.
I'm going to ask a Colorado beer question, if I might.
Yeah.
Okay, so Denver probably is considered the best area for beer just because of pure size, I guess. Is that the case? Is like Boulder or Breckenridge, or are there other places that are comparable? Which one do you guys prefer?
Fort Collins.
Yeah,
I was just going to say Fort Collins was what I was
going
to
Fort Collins is huge. I mean, Denver definitely has the more breweries in this town of Denver than anywhere else. Any other city might have, but Fort Collins is really close second. I think Colorado Springs has got quite a lot of breweries there now. They've got some really good ones.
Again, some good ones. Fort Collins, I will say, it gives Denver a run for its money. And I'm not saying better than anyone, but there's some up there that have some really good beers that you'll seek out and things like that. For instance, Weldworks. It's in Greeley. No, but it's in this cowpoke town. You think we're on the Front Range. This is a town that is it is cattle and agriculture. There's nothing else there.
I mean, it's growing now, but it's definitely it's not the first place you think of if you're going to check out the beer scene, but Weldworks is a not to be missed brewery. And then just down the road from Weldworks is Wiley Roots, and they're an excellent brewery too. So Greeley's coming along as quite a good destination as well.
Yeah. But I think square mile wise, Denver, like you said, just because of that is the volume of breweries. But Fort Collins and Boulder, definitely.
And proximity too, and ability to jump on the public trans gives Denver that. I'm not sure about Fort Collins. I've never been there, but Denver just has that. You can literally, in my opinion, you can stay in Denver for a week and not hit all the breweries.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, easily. I don't even know. We've hit all the breweries in Denver.
We definitely have.
And we'll go down, like you said, on a weekend and park and just walk around or jump in an Uber, jump on the light rail, whatever it takes. And we probably haven't because there's just so many.
In fact, to be quite honest with you, I was trying to think of how many, and I can't even remember how many they have. It's been too hard to keep track.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you should give me a Weldworks.
Weldworks is awesome. Very day says. Are you guys familiar with what the heck happened with Fate in Boulder?
I don't know the whole story.
I don't either.
But
it was a great brewery. I enjoyed their beer.
Wasn't it another brewery had the same name and kind of came after him? I don't remember. I know they're gone.
Who's moving in there? Is it
I thought maybe. I don't really know. I don't know the whole story.
Yeah, I thought someone took over that space.
But I think that if I'm remembering correctly, and it could be that I'm fuzzy, I think that place is now owned by Ska, and it's a brew distillery.
That's what it is.
It's their brewery / distillery.
From Ska, that's what it is.
Brew distillery.
Brew distillery.
You gotta have a new niche.
I want to go.
They opened the day before bars. They closed everything the first time around.
Yeah.
They opened the day before, and then everything shut down. So I think they might be reopened now. We'll have to see how things are, but we've definitely not been there yet.
I would love to see that liquor license, the distillery. Because liquor laws out here, I don't know about where you are. Liquor laws in the state of Colorado are insane. I mean, I don't know how many. It wasn't that long ago. We could just start buying full strength beer in grocery stores.
Oh yeah, that was just like 2 years ago.
It's crazy out here, and they're very weird about.
Wait, the place with legal recreational weed? Is this the same?
You could buy legal recreational weed before you could buy full strength beer in the grocery store.
We were selling 3.2
beer.
3.2 beer. It was horrible in the grocery stores for I don't know how long.
I think it just ended 2019.
Yeah, and there's still around that.
Insane. Jeff, you're right. That's insane.
Yeah, it's so that's why I love to see that liquor license because how do you show up with a bottle of hooch in a brewery, they throw you out. It's like you can't have that here. So
right, and whether it's justified or not, or whether it's real or not, Colorado is one of the first places that people talk about craft beer. Period. End. Talk about Portland, Oregon. They talk about Denver, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? They talk about Fort Collins.
I'm glad you at least recognize that because unfortunately, and this is not a lot of people feel this way. I have no problem with the weed and legal, whatever you want to do. Again, do what you got to do. But it's sad to me that someone could come here for a concert, be standing at Red Rocks Amphitheater on one of the most beautiful stages in the world, playing there. And the first words out of their mouth is something about the weed or how high it's like, are you looking around? That's all we're known for. We have, I don't know how many 14ers you can hide. We have Creststone. We have all these beautiful places. And that's all we're known for. Every concert, every comedian. You just walk out, it's like, seriously.
It's gotten better, but there was like a year or two when it first became legal that was the big joke. Every time we said we're from Colorado, we're from Colorado.
That Colorado, right.
You can buy beer at the grocery store, but you can get a dime bag next door.
I remember, this is going to sound super dumb, but I'm a big basketball fan, and I remember hearing that there was going to be a series that could possibly happen where the Portland Trailblazers playing the Denver Nuggets. And these people made the point that could be the all-weed NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can you imagine seeing that?
I didn't even think of that, and that is exactly right.
It's 100% right.
Yeah.
That would have been a great one, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But no, other than that, though, it's I agree with you. We always went neck and neck with Portland. And
I think by city-wise, they might still have more.
I do, too, yeah. The first beer bloggers conference we went to, we hooked up with Adam and Emily, who were from right outside of Oregon.
Fresh Pints in Oregon.
Fresh Pints out of Portland. And it was funny because they were like, "Oh, we got you." And then like a week later, it's like we went above them in breweries. And it was like so it became a big thing all the time. And I still think they have more, but
I think the city may. Yeah.
the city, but yeah.
And Colorado was the first state to legally make legal recreational weed, right? Was Colorado the first?
I think
Recreation.
Yeah. What were we?
Yeah,
So
we
that's
were
why you guys get tagged with that. That's exactly why you get tagged with it.
I think after California, we were second.
Yeah. So the first one all out of the gate is always the one that like gets like the brunt of it. You know what I mean? Because honestly, when I think of weed, I think of Oregon more than I think of you guys. But that's just me.
I appreciate that. That's good to know because man, but yeah, we were the first pioneers of that, and trust me, we learned a lot. I mean, it wasn't as smooth sailing as they thought. But
sure, no. But
we've had a crossover too because we had the first brewery that got licensed to sell kind of the CBD beer was out here. That was here, and now Keith Villa, I think his name is Villa. Oh, the guy that created Blue Moon for Coors. He has a non-alcoholic THC infused beer that you can buy at our shops out here.
So not like a CBD or a hemp beer, and actually
THC. Yeah. You have to have it. It has to be non-alcoholic to include the THC. We've not tried it. No. It's on my list to try someday, but yeah, it's a full THC beer.
But we did go to a launching of a CBD seltzer.
Yeah, we've had.
Was it Avery? Was it with
Left
Hand Brewing?
Partnered with a company and does a CBD seltzer. Man. Yeah.
Regardless of the CBD being in it, I don't know what it did anything for me, but man, it was a good seltzer. And we got to go out there and see the whole hemp farm. It was incredible to see these plants. You're walking around here like, this is weed. I really think the difference between hemp and weed is if you let it bloom. I really do. It's still, it was crazy, I think. I don't know. But it looked just like weed. We're walking around. I'm like, how can this be legal? It's insane.
Yeah, the crossovers. Well, another thing I want to jump off and see if you guys are talk about is you guys have a big distillery. You guys have a big craft distillery thing going on too.
Yeah.
I know. You guys got a lot of them popping up. I don't know if you're feeling that or what do you guys, where you guys at with those?
Yeah, we have quite a lot. They just launched a year or two back called the Colorado Spirits Trail, where you can go and get a passport to like 50 different distilleries and
50.
And go around. I think that's statewide. Yeah. Maybe I'm off on my numbers. I don't know. Maybe I had visited too many distilleries.
And to answer your question, we are embracing distillers a little more. Yeah. We love beer. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of things come in a bottle. So we're branching out, and we've actually happened upon some really
we've had
cool
some
distilleries.
Great ones. Deer Hammer down in Butte is excellent. What's the
Stranahan's.
Stranahan's is here.
Laws
Whiskey.
is our favorite. Laws Whiskey in Denver is outstanding. They're great. I just sent my dad up a bunch of Laws Whiskey for Father's Day.
Yeah. But like you said, it is. We are. I mean, I'm not saying we're this huge distillery town, but we are getting a lot more distilleries.
If you have 50,
there you go.
So we're trying to hit those too. Unfortunately, they are usually near breweries, so you have to hit both. I mean, you're there, and then it turns into a really long day. So, or an expensive Uber ride,
or really expensive Uber.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we do embrace the spirits.
The best part about you guys is, I'm sure most of the time it is, but you guys are a pair, so you guys can shoulder that drinking, or if Jeff gets crazy, Chris can be cool, or vice versa. But when you travel by yourself, like I do a lot, I gotta be saying no, especially to this, or I will end up in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah. No, we have even if we have a ride or we're staying downtown and we don't have to drive, if we're gonna try and remember it to maybe put it on the blog, we have a 3-stop rule. After three, it's just like you can't. There's no point of trying to pretend you're gonna write about a place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll still go. We're just not gonna actually have anything written about it.
And before this whole stay-at-home thing, I traveled a lot. Like every week, I was on the road. So I had a partner I traveled with. So we did try, but I would same type of thing with work. You know, it's not a vacation, but we would go out. But even being alone on myself, I still try and you got to keep your wits about it because we still try, even though might not be wearing BMT stuff or representing the blog. We do feel that when you're out and about, if I am wearing my hat or they know who we're from, we try not to be, at least I try not to be falling down stupid and trying to talk to them about something, because that just is not what you want. So yes, to answer your question, we do try and
we try.
I'm
usually the designated driver. Unless there's whiskey involved, then it's always Jeff.
Which is weird because she's not a whiskey person. The next thing I know, she's like,
I can't handle my whiskey.
Oh, Chris, that means you and I have to drink whiskey. I love scotch.
I'll be a driver. I'll pay to see that.
Yeah, it's I really, really enjoy scotch. So
yeah, nice.
Oh. Yeah, we're getting into it more and more. We've done some whiskey tastings, so we're trying to embrace it, not just like going and what do you have.
We have a sake brewery in Denver now too, just open. We have not been there yet. I'm very excited to check that out.
Yeah. Denver's trying everything right now, man.
We don't discriminate. We like anything that comes in a bottle or a can.
You guys sound like a good place to be for a pandemic. I mean, you got recreational weed, you got 100 distilleries, you got 6 hours of breweries. I mean,
what more can we ask for?
You got beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
You guys, your food is pretty damn good too.
Yeah,
I've never had a problem with getting any kind of good food in Colorado. I'm not sure what's.
We're not leaving. We'll put it that way. I moved here from Arizona like 29 years ago, and everyone's always like, "Man, don't you miss it?" I'm like, "I miss Mexican food and the sunsets. That's all I miss from Arizona. Outside of that, you get your seasons here. Exactly what you said. Even besides the alcohol and that, the food, the nature, the hiking,
a lot of sunshine. It's nice.
Yeah, you can get places. I mean, I'm not saying it's real close, but I can get to the border in a couple hours if I want to go to Nebraska, or not that you would, or New Mexico or something like that. If you would. Yeah, I don't know if there's any breweries right across the border there.
If you have a hankering,
I don't know, a big draw to go to Nebraska.
Corn on the cob. Let's go to Nebraska.
Oh, hey, I do like corn. Now we got Ouray here, Ouray, whatever it's called.
Now. You ain't going to Nebraska.
I'll go rent a pickup truck and we'll go for a drive. We'll beat up Ford.
Nebraska's the worst. Sorry, people who are. It's the worst state to drive through ever. It's the worst state to drive through.
I would agree.
Omaha's a nice place. Don't get me wrong. Omaha's cool. I think I was in Lincoln. They have nice places, but it's just horrible to drive through.
Where do you not want to drive, Doug?
There's a lot of nothing.
Indiana,
yeah.
It's freaking flat as hell, and it's just goddamn cornfields everywhere. And everybody gives you shits on Kansas for being flat. I've never been there. My wife has. But Indiana is flat as hell. And it's just like
some hills, actually.
We drove there once, and we were driving to visit. We were going to a wedding there, and then we were going to visit my sister-in-law. And it was just, as soon as you got past Cleveland, it was just flat and fucking boring for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I moved here from Florida, and we drove up. It was quite a while ago, too. But I just remember going straight up, I don't even know, Missouri, and then turning left, and there was nothing but corn and sunflowers for like a day. That's all you saw.
That's all you saw.
Sunflowers, corn. That was the only thing that broke up the monotony.
Do you see the sunflower fields here?
Yeah.
We have these huge sunflower fields up by Fort Collins, and you can go out there and they follow the sun.
Oh.
So, like when they're all full bloom and everything, it's kind of cool. I've only seen it on the news, never been there. But I'd love to see that because you just see miles of sunflowers.
You'd really have to sit there a long time to know that they're following the sun, though.
Watch them move.
Drink lots of beer.
That's what time lapse is for.
So our friend Mike Collins says the first cannabis beer was in Maryland.
Oh, wow.
No way. That he kept
it failed, but I kept it happy.
Cool.
Wow, yeah.
Man, that'd be a cool handle to have.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Beer Day says if you ever get to Madison area, J. Henry Sons and Dane for some great bourbon. Beer Days, I literally live 5 minutes away from J. Henry Sons and Dane.
Wow.
They're fantastic. And I got a bottle upstairs, 2 bottles upstairs. The lady loves it. Fantastic.
Hey. When you came here, why did you not bring any of that?
Huh?
Because you want the real answer?
Because you bought 8,000 beers. I definitely appreciate that.
You want the real answer?
That I do.
You want the real answer?
Yeah.
It's because you and your wife don't use top sheets.
But you didn't know that. You didn't know that.
I did.
No top sheets.
No. You guys aren't privy to our top sheet.
No.
Are you guys top sheet people or not top sheet?
Right.
We are top sheet people.
Right.
No, I didn't know there was any other way, but now I'm curious.
So my wife and I
Are
no
not-
top sheets. Top sheets are things you use to put on the floor when you paint walls. So they're
So what? Just have a comforter if it gets cold, or
yeah. With it,
Okay,
day over it. Good to go.
Hey, teach their own.
I'm gonna give this a try.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'll let you know how it goes.
the whole backstory of that is Greg and I were at Dad 2.0 in February. And of course, politics you're not wanting to talk about politics and you just cannot avoid it.
We were in Washington, D.C., by the way. We were in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then we're like, you know what? Let's not talk about politics. What do you think about top sheets? And that turned into this 3-hour conversation of people just all on different sides. And oh man, it was awesome.
Doug. So
That's
today,
hilarious. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Jeff and Chris, is it
Yes.
flip flops or is it slides?
Flip flops.
I don't believe in either.
You
Those
know
are
they
called
exist.
they're
Wow.
called shower shoes. They should not be worn out of the house.
That's a take.
Sorry, that's my 2 cents. We get in this battle.
Shower shoes.
Everyone I know wears flip flops, thongs,
But what do
slides.
you call them? Even
I'm
if you
with-
don't wear
I'm with
I call
Jeff. I don't want to
them
see your feet. I don't want to see your feet, Doug. So
That's
Yeah,
Oh,
whole
shoot.
thing was I posted something where my son called them slides, like
Hmm.
right.
like the one, not the ones that you have. You know, some flip flops have the things where go between your big and
Yeah.
your other
Right.
toe, and he had the ones like the Adidas ones where you just kind of slide your feet in. And he goes, "Well, I'm
Right.
looking for my slides," and I'm like, "What the fuck are slides?" I mean, flip flops, and he's
that's
like,
like, don't get a pair of damn
"Slides."
shoes and grow up.
So I posted that on Facebook, like, all right, settle this dispute. And I'm going to tell you, I got hammered for thinking they were flip flops. Like, just it wasn't close.
I call them flip flops.
I'm on your
Whether
side,
they're
bud.
the slide kind or the toe kind, they're flip flops. But honestly, I
He just doesn't want to wear them,
don't wear it
which is fine.
in the house.
You don't have to wear them.
I don't. But I have the same battle just with my friends. We go out and they're all. I'm just like, get your nasty ass feet away from me. We're in public.
So, but I thought, see, Doug, I didn't get your thread because when I got to your thread, it had 300 comments. Seriously,
It was just
it has 300 comments. So I didn't click on it. But see, to me, isn't flip flop when you walk, it hits the back of your heel?
and
So
guess
that's
what?
flip flop to me. It doesn't matter whether you can slide your foot in or not.
Exactly. That was my
I
point.
agree.
Or I don't.
But to be fair, if you go, all right, the sound makes a flip flop whether it's between your toes or it's over your foot.
Right.
But to them, well, you slide your foot into it's a slide, and
I slide my foot into the nasty thing with the toe holder.
yeah.
Right. You gotta slide- right.
But Adidas calls them slides. That's actually what they call them. They don't call them flip flops. I'm like, well, I'm still
Now I
calling
know
them
we need-
flip-flops.
Now I know what we need to boost engagement. We need some controversial subjects.
Controversial
like this.
subjects and shit.
We hit the deep topics on this show. I'm telling you.
Exactly. Clearly.
I might steal your top sheet thing and see how that goes over.
Telling
There's
you.
people that like now. Here's the thing. There's a caveat to that. Is like if I'm in a hotel, then I'm using a top sheet because I don't want to touch that comforter.
Well, I sleep standing up in the hotel. I don't even lay down.
So
I just lay myself to the wall and that's it. I don't.
you sleep Blair Witch style, like you stand in the corner and just.
I find a way and get wedged just right. Then I wake up fresh. I don't have to worry about doing my hair when I do that.
Yeah.
But Doug, don't we have some fools that take off the top sheet in the hotel? I don't know what you people
Yeah,
do.
it was my podcast partner Jay. He takes the top sheet off and sleeps with a comforter on top of an hotel. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
There's
Even I have a
rules in
little.
hotels, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
You don't touch the comforter or the remote.
Right.
Yeah.
See, we got to travel with them, Doug.
Oh,
I packed up.
we're
I was
going to
traveling my
GABF, and then
phone.
we're going to make somewhat. So it's GABF, and then we're going to do a trip with Owen.
We'll take it to Crested.
We'll take you to Crested when you come here.
And you can go see some aliens.
Yeah. It's done. And then we'll all get on a plane and go hang out with Owen
The
somewhere.
UFO watchtower.
UFO watchtower.
One more comment from Chris's dad.
Oh, Yes, I can send him. I hope he likes it.
Yeah, that was a Father's Day gift for him. Some Law's whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys sent him some whiskey?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Good stuff.
So is it whiskey or is it scotch or is it just whiskey? Where are we at?
I think these are just
That one I believe was all whiskey.
or bourbon whiskey. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I know they did. I don't know enough about whiskey to be quite honest with you, but I know that they do the bonded whiskey there, which is where I think you have to control everything. You have to source exactly where your ingredients come from and have it all under your control and have it certified by, I don't know, the whiskey gods to call it bonded.
So if you're into whiskey, that's another one to go to is Law's because they are like one of a few that do the bonded.
Yeah.
Whatever that fully means, but.
Yeah, there's a whole like bottled and bond act from like 1897 that like makes it a bonded whiskey. And it's funny because like bourbon, which I think of just bourbon, I don't classify it, but there's just depends on whether it's bourbon whiskey or like there's a lot of different distinctions that I didn't realize. Whereas like with Scotch, I understand all that. There's a lot of distinctions depending on the region it's from. So yeah, it's interesting. I didn't really realize how supposedly diverse bourbon is. It's still sometimes pretty aggressive. If
you talk to bourbon followers, you'll get in trouble. I work with a guy who's into whiskeys and bourbons, and if I get it wrong,
maybe Bourbon Makes Three will be our next adventure.
Ooh.
I like that.
All right, my friends. It's time to wrap up. I want to make sure that everybody knows where to find you guys, and so tell us where to find you, and
For sure. Our website's bottomx3.com, and we're also BottomX3 on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter we are BNT Beer Blog.
Oh, you couldn't make bottles make
No,
three.
we couldn't get it.
No.
Someone beat us to that one, but
so BMT Beer Blog.
Such is life.
I can't use my moniker is Scotch Fully Yours, and I can't fit all the characters in Twitter.
That was our problem with Twitter as well, and we didn't want to put a 3. So it was an artistic choice.
That makes sense.
So thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you,
Doug.
Nice to meet you.
It was fun having you.
Cheers.
It's kind of like a virtual Zoom almost. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of meet my friends. It's kind of been how I've been getting through the pandemic. So, thanks for helping us, and thanks for telling us about what's going on in Colorado beer. To the best of your knowledge, I mean, it probably changed since we got on this.
For sure.
So go back quick. Check your phone, Chris.
Yeah, it could be changed right now. Like I said.
So, your one last comment here from Dad.
Oh, thank you.
Your dad's the best. He really is.
Yeah. Does your dad use the top sheet, or we won't even get into it?
Yeah,
I'm sure I learned it from somewhere. I think he does.
Don't ask. He'll be able. You don't want to know.
Beer Days says cheers.
Beer Days, Mike.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Cheers,
being here.
everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. Doug and I want to have a lot of people back, especially after the pandemic, because we want to see what's going on afterwards. So I'll be bugging you guys in a couple months, hopefully.
We should be around, so let's get together for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wait till after the pandemic, so that's why I'm like a couple of months.
We'll do a Zoom or something
together. Reluctantly.
I like your optimism. Let's go for that. I like that.
I like that too.
We're talking about the summer, and we're here now. What, people?
I agree.
And I've been sitting at home too. Damn it! So I'm gonna bitch. Anyway,
you're allowed.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Doug, I love doing this shit. I love the friends that I meet. The problem is I can't go out and meet any new friends.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is because of you being able to make friends before this, you had such a wide array of people to come on, which has been pretty awesome, and you coming up with this idea of meet my friends, I'm super glad you did it because it's helped me learn more and it's helped me meet other people too. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it also takes us out of our worlds and for an hour. Like I'm in Colorado. Shit. Look at the background we got here. I almost feel like I'm at Crooked Stave. I don't know if you've never been there, but
Stave.
Crooked Stave, Crooked Stave. I can't.
Stave. I like Stave. That sounds way more fancy.
Right. And they make fancy beers too. But anyway, point is that this is really helpful as far as doing all this. So I don't have any more of my meet my friends planned. I've been slacking on the old booking, but I told you on the side that I'm booking.
But it's okay, man. We're all working through stuff, and you know what? Sometimes you just need a little bit of chill, and we'll get back into it. It's fine.
Oh, we're great. We're fine. I just feel that I might have to find like 6 months more of meet my friends content for us because it's like, is this gonna end? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we'll book to the summer and shit. Anyway, guys, our next date is Friday with Greg Tatsuku.
Oh man, Greg.
I'm bad with names.
Apologies, because I would not pronounce that correctly either. I don't know, but he's a guy, man.
I don't know if that's
looking forward to this because he has a different perspective on all of this.
Yeah, he's a social butterfly. He works with the homebrew club, but he's a social butterfly, man. This guy is out everywhere. He's everybody knows him. He's a good human being, great soul. But it's just gonna be interesting talking to him because he's out more than me, Doug. Like I get out to go to my trips, but generally, and he'll say it too. He'll say it. I'm a homebody. I don't really get out that much. And I don't know. I'm kind of sad for it now because now I miss it. So now I need to get out. But my point is that Greg's always out. So it's going to be a good perspective to see how he's dealing with this. He's a single guy too. So he goes home, has his own place. He's a social guy, So when you're single, you're always out. You know what I mean? Like you're never at home. And being stuck at home during a pandemic when you're single, I mean, I'm sure it's cool sometimes, but geez.
Yeah, but that's the thing is we're going to learn about that. We haven't had a guest that has been in this situation.
Sure.
This is going to be great to learn how that works. And, man, I like Greg. Greg's a fucking awesome guy, and it's going to be fun to have him on.
Yep. And then the week after, we have special guests. So, yes, I'm vague booking, but we're a special guest with a special announcement. It's going to be fun. So, Doug, I'm going to let you go.
All right, man.
It's time to, I don't know. Oh, shit. I just let this poor beer here get warm.
Oh, wait. Did you get the Black is Beautiful beer?
No.
No.
First of all, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I don't know any Wisconsin brewers that are doing it.
Really? Hey, we also saw, and we need to talk about this very quickly, but the Founders thing doing Black is Beautiful beer is like, makes me want to throw shit at things.
We will absolutely talk about that on Friday. I don't want to talk about this on Chris and Jeff's Meet My Friends. You know what I'm saying?
Fair point.
This is their resume.
So my outrage until Friday.
Yeah. We will discuss that on Friday and probably after Friday too. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave this because this is Chris and Jeff's Meet My Friends. Bottom makes 3. So we'll just drop that. And we'll save it
for sure. Sorry.
Friday, for sure. Man, Friday, we've been hitting big topics on Friday. So check us out on Friday here on the stream, on Every Daddy Porter's streaming platform that you can get, and Scott's Really Yours' Facebook page. I'm gonna hit end broadcast here, and then Doug's gonna yell at me about Founders after this. So we'll see. So we'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks again to Chris and Jeff for Bottom Mix.
Thanks, guys.